Welcome back to another episode of the New Motorcycle Riders Podcast. So I've been hearing a lot about these electric motorcycles, so I decided to find out for myself what all the talk was about. Now, for you die-hard traditional motorcyclists, you might want to skip this one unless you're open to hearing new ideals. I have never been one to just take someone else's opinion about anything unless they had first-hand knowledge of it, and I wasn't about to start now. I have to admit, the ideal of going to an electric motorcycle after decades of riding conventional motorcycles was a bit of a stretch for me. So I decided that I would hold back any judgments until I had personally rode once, and this week I decided to do just that. I took the Harley Davidson Livewire for a test ride. Now let me throw this out there. I'm not paid or compensated by any manufacturer to recommend any brand, so my comments and opinions are entirely mine. In order to give a thorough opinion, I decided I needed to break this down into a few categories. So we're going to start out with the looks. Because, I don't care what it is. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to see it before you're actually even going to touch it or anything else. So if it's not appealing to you in your eyes, that's automatically going to turn you off. Now, for the cruiser style bike riders, this is going to fail in that department. But if you like sport bikes or naked bikes, then it will catch your eye. The styling was sleek and comparable to many bikes in this category. But I'm a tall guy, so many of these bikes look exceptionally small to me from a distance, but looks can be deceiving. Now let's go to the comfort. I've sat on a few of these new naked style bikes, and surprisingly, they were and felt a lot bigger than they look from a distance. After sitting on the Livewire, it proved to be no different. It looks a lot smaller than it is, but once you get on it, it was very comfortable, even for my height. But unless you're planning on only giving rides to 100-pound thin passengers, the passenger seat is almost obsolete. Now let's go to functionality. The controls and gauges were all within reach and easy to use. The digital Bluetooth gauge display all your functions in an easy-to-read manner. Now, it's going to take some time to get used to it because your readings are going to be totally different than a traditional motorcycle. But it doesn't take long to get used to them. The weirdest thing was going from off to on. Because there is no sound, it's pretty creepy knowing that the bike is on, but you're not hearing anything. I also found this to be a safety issue. Although the motorcycle won't turn on unless the kickstand is up, just imagine sitting on your motorcycle with the kickstand up and some curious person comes over and twists the throttle. I could see you going for an unexpected ride. Last was the road test. I can't tell you how fast I went because I never looked at the odometer, but the throttle response was immediate and the power was very smooth. They claim this motorcycle has approximately about 105 braking horsepower and 86 foot-pounds of torque. So that's probably around your average cruiser horsepower. Now, being used to a clutch and gear shifter, I obviously did go through them a few times, but I'm sure with time anyone would adjust to that. The handling was very nimble, and the stopping with the Brembo brakes was excellent. This motorcycle felt like a blast to ride through traffic or to put on some curvy roads. As a daily commuter or to run errands, this motorcycle received an A+ from me. This is a motorcycle I can see appealing more to the under 35 crowd or the newer riders who haven't really become totally accustomed to a conventional motorcycle. But with anything, there will always be the good and the bad, so let's talk about some of the cons. First is going to be the travel range. Livewire states it gets between 95 to 145 miles on a full charge. If you ride a lot, this is going to prove to be a problem. You'll constantly have to find charging stations and wait approximately 45 minutes for your motorcycle to recharge. For me, this is a problem because when I go out for a day ride, I usually ride more than the motorcycle's charge range. Next is going to be the cost of the replacement battery. They say battery replacement costs approximately $10,000. Although you will be covered by the factory warranty most of the time, I'm sure this will severely hurt the resale value should you want to sell it or trade it in later. But on a positive note, there is relatively zero maintenance costs except for tires, brakes, and the dry belt. Now, this is just a quick summation of the Livewire, but if I had to describe it, I would say that it was like having spaghetti and meatballs without the sauce. Maybe you like spaghetti and meatballs without the sauce. I do feel as though these bikes will get better with time, but for me, I think I'll wait to see what the future has for these motorcycles. Again, we thank you for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.